Hello everybody, Gliderman here. So today we're back in the Tic Tac Toe project, and we're going to be working on hooking up the user interface buttons with some action listeners. So we're going to be scrolling down here just a little bit, and we're going to be working on adding the action listeners to the buttons. So let's do this above where we add the buttons to the panel. And so basically we're going to have all of the buttons get the same action listener because they're all going to do basically the same thing. They're going to either be an X or an O, and they're also going to say that you should check and see if it is a win condition for somebody. So let's start off with row 1, col 1, button, and then we're going to do dot, and then let's wait for that to load up. And you're going to see actually right at the top we've got the add action listener. So we're just going to double click that. We're now ready to type in our action listener. So we're going to be creating a new, and then we're going to call this X and O action listener. And so that's going to be our own custom action listener for detecting on the buttons. So let's click this little warning thing here. You're going to say that it wants us to create the class. So let's scroll down here, and we're going to actually make it a little private class inside this main Tic Tac Toe class, just for ease of use. So let's just give ourselves some space, pull down a little bit, and we're going to type private, and then class, and then X and O action listener. And then we're going to have that open brace. And so if we click on this again, this should say that it needs to be cast, or there should be right down here, let X and O action listener implement action listener. And so you're going to see that it automatically adds the implements and then action listener there. And then there's some methods that we want it to have, so we're just going to let it do that by itself. And there we go. So now we've got the action performed, and that gives us an action event. And we're going to be using this action event to get what button we actually clicked, because we're all of the buttons are going to call this one action listener. So let's do that real quick. We're just going to copy and paste that 9 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then just go through with the renaming of these. 2 and 3. And then all of these are 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3. So now all of those have the X and O action listener, and whenever they are clicked, they'll be calling this action performed method. And real quick, we're also going to just throw in the structure of testing whether or not there was a win condition. So we're just going to make it not return anything for now, and we're going to say is win, and we're just going to make it go like that. So we'll call that whenever we want to check and see if there is a winning condition. Up at the top, we're going to need a Boolean value that's going to tell us whose turn it is. So we're just going to call it X turn, like this, and we're going to say that it's default to true, because X will go first. And so down here, we're going to have it get the source of the event. So we're just going to go E dot and then get source. And so that's going to get us an object. And so now we're going to cast this to a J button like that. And we're going to say that's the clicked button, and then that's assigned e.getSource, but of course we need to cast that to a jButton like so. And that's going to give us a warning saying that, that it's not used, yes, so far, but I believe that it's also unchecked. But since we know that we're only adding the jButtons, or that action listener is only getting added to jButtons, we know we're good. So now we're just going to do a little if train where we're going to test and see what button we clicked. So we're going to do if clicked button and then dot equals, and then we're going to test and see if it was equal to row 1 column 1 button, and if it was, then we know that that button was clicked. We can say that we'll adjust a little variable array, which we'll get to a little bit later. But first, we also need to do a quick if statement testing if it's the X's turn, and if it is, then the clicked button dot set text, and then we're going to give this the X. So now the button will have the text X in it, and then in the else we'll set the clicked button's text to O. So set text, and then set that to O, like that. So now whatever buttons we click, it will be going there. And I mean, there's a lot of logic that we're going to be doing in here. Like, we need to make sure that it doesn't already have text in it. So for that, we'll just see if clicked button dot get, and then text. So if that equals, and then if that's equal to nothing, then we want to make sure that we return from our method call here, because, or my bad, we want to make sure that it does not equal nothing before we return, which basically will eliminate us clicking on it after we've already clicked on it. And so we'll also be adjusting whose turn it is. So we'll be doing X turn is not sign. I believe this will work. And then X turn. No, doesn't look like that'll work. So we'll assign it to the opposite of X turn. So whatever it was, it's now the opposite. So if it was false, then we would know that it was the O turn. So now we can go through these if statements, checking to see what button we selected. So that's going to be continuous. So if clicked button, or with the else and whatnot. So else, if the click button equals, and then row 1 column 2 button, then we'll do stuff there. And we'll just copy and paste this multiple times so that we don't need to keep writing that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like that. So then this will be 3, this will be 1, 2, and then 3, and 1, 2, and then 3, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, and 3, just like that. Now, what we're also going to be doing is creating a little array for testing the states of the buttons, or not really testing the states of the buttons, but for storing the state of the buttons and confirming that they are, and confirming whether or not there was a win condition. So up here, we're going to do an integer array, and we're going to just call this states, and then we're going to assign this to a new integer array, and we're going to give it a length of 9, just like that. And states will default to having all 0 values as well, just to let you know. So now, down here, we're going to be using this if xturn else in these as well. So that's going to be if xturn, then we're going to set it to 1 in the integer array, and then otherwise we're going to set it to 2. So here we're going to do states, and then we know that this will be at index 0, which is the first index, and then we're going to assign that to 1, and then here we're going to assign that to 2. And then we're basically going to do the exact same thing for all of the buttons. And actually, there's actually going to be a little bit of an easier way of doing this. If we wait until the end, we just delete all of this. There we go. If we wait until the end, then we can just do this one thing real quick. And we can do integer index, and then we're going to default that to 0. And then we'll say index is assigned 0 here, and then going through, index is assigned 1 there, and then index is assigned 2, and index is assigned 3, 4, and so on. And there we go. So now what we can do is we can just say adjust the state at a specific index. So we can set it to either the 1 or the 2 there. And I'm not quite sure what's up with the weird syntax coloring. Let me save and we'll see if that fixes it. Okay, well, I don't know what's up with the weird syntax coloring there. I wouldn't really worry about it. So now that's got it adjusting the states there. And now we can call that isWin method, which will check and see if there's a winning condition after, we've updated everything here. So in the next episode, I'll be working on the isWin method, and we can get that properly detecting whether or not there is a win condition. So I'll see you guys in the next episode when we do that. So in the meantime, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!